Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yonta Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptam Sanjeevayathyakhila Shakti Dharaswadhamnam Anyanscha Hastacharana Shravanatvagadin Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Samacharana Sarojam Sandra Neelambudabham Jagananihita Panim Mandanam Mandananam Taruna Tulasimala Kandharam Kanjanetram Sadaya Dhavalahasam Vitthalan Chintayami Vitthalan Chintayami. So we have entered chapter 14. Salutations to Lord Ganesha, salutations to Lord Krishna. OV1. I bow to you, O Swami Sadguru. You are yourself the ocean of milk and the moon of understanding. The moon is of knowledge, and when it arises, it gives pleasure to every jiva. OV2. The moonlight has illuminated the whole area of the heart and removed various troubles which are caused in the darkness of ignorance. 3. The rays of the moon shower the nectar of the bliss of Atman for the thirsty chakoras and easily satisfy them. OV4. In the darkness of ignorance, the lotus flowers of the bodies of jivas are remained as closed buds, which are opened up by the joy of flowering due to the knowledge oozing through the moon's rays. OV6. The ocean of milk has high tide of joy transcend the limits of paying restlessness of the increase due to the realization of non-duality. Number 7, Sadguru, who is the ocean of the milk, is very deep and vast. If we looked at it with care and respect, we find the gems of knowledge in the form of words, in the waves of Vedanta on the surface of that ocean. Dara. Desirelessness is Vasuki, the rope, used for churning the ocean with the churning rod, by the help of which the gods and demons, which are the self-confidence and courage, are always churning the ocean of the milk. OV9. In the first upheaval of that churning, the poison of distraction and forgetfulness is produced, which Mahadeva of discrimination has already swallowed by the glance of Atmic power. OV10. Then the goddess Lakshmi, which is equal to inner peace, came to that ocean as all the activities came to an end by constant meditation, and the Lord Vishnu became pleased with her. OV11. Then came out the kalasha, or the pot, which contained the nectar of the juice of Brahman and the wine of hallucination, gradually from that ocean in the process of that churning. OV12. In order to distribute the juice, the Lord Sri Hari became the woman called Mohini, and by cutting the throat of Rahu, the ego, satisfied the gods. OV13. That Mohini, which is psychologically equal to an attitude of mind, immediately took her original body as Narayana, and then the identification of physical body ceased to be prevalent. OV14. The god Narayana in the ocean of milk is happily reclined or shesh on the divine serpent, which is Samadhi even to this date. OV15. Thus Sadguru is the ocean of knowledge. Narayana and other divine avatars take place because of this Sadguru. Even Vedas cannot find the limits of this immeasurable Sadguru. OV16. The jewels of knowledge of the Sadguru look very beautiful when worn by the Lord Shankara and Lord Vishnu around their neck and on the crown. These jewels are praised by Vedas as well as the great poets. OV 17. O the ocean of happiness, O Janardana, O the God who takes various forms and whose limits are not known, who can see the thing which is beyond you? OV 18. Thought, however high it may be, cannot see your glorious form. Even Vedas cannot describe your greatness adequately. How can my Marathi language be able to describe your total greatness? OV 19. There is one example. Nobody can sit on the crown of the king, but a little fly can easily sit there. OV 20. Who will dare look at the breasts of the queen, but her little son easily feeds himself there? 21. Similarly, my Marathi language, by power of the grace of the Guru Janardana, embraces self-knowledge and tells the stories of Brahman, which is inexpressible. 22. Let it be. The space is inside and outside of a pot. Similarly, the absolute Brahman, which is beyond description, is beyond the words as well as in the words. So in this critical position, any loose talk and meaningless words have no scope to enter here. 23. When the child cannot speak properly, the father tells him how to speak. Here also, similar is the case because Janardana inspires me to talk. 24. By the grace of Janardana, we will tell the story of Bhagavata in Marathi. The knowledge contained in Bhagavata is not found in millions of other books. 25. This is the great Bhagavata. We have appropriately described in Marathi language the Hansa Gita, the song of the swan, by the grace of Guru Janardana. 26. The God said, if with right faith a person worships me, he gets the sword of knowledge and he cuts away the attachment to the worldly life and achieves complete freedom, Sayujya. 27. Uddhava listened to the God's statement that only by his worship there is freedom, and he began to think. 28. The God says that only through his worship there is freedom. But if I consider the opinions of many intelligent people, it is found that they advise varieties of methods of penance for attainment of liberation. 29. So which is the better means of achieving liberation? This question was put by Uddhava to the Lord Sri Krishna.
Uddhava uvacha vadanti Krishna shreyansi bahuni brahmavadinaha tesham vikalpa pradhanyam utaho eka mukhyata.
Meaning of the verse. Uddhava asked, exponents of Veda speak of many a course of discipline leading to final beatitude, O Krishna. Does their importance vary according to the choice of the seeker, or does prominence attach itself to only one of them? 30. Uddhava asked, O Krishna, how many ways or paths are there to achieve liberation? In the opinion of sponsors of Vedas, there are many means. 31. Are all the methods equally important, or is one method superior to another? You have, on the other hand, emphatically said that only devotion is the right means to attain liberation.
Bhavatodahita swamin bhakti yogo napekshitaha nirasya sarvata sangam yena tvaya vishen manaha.
Meaning of the verse. The discipline of devotion by which the mind shakes off attachment for all others and gets fixed on you has been declared by you, my master, as independent of other disciplines. 32. The devotees do not expect to follow any other methods. They give up all attachments because devotion is the most important way to reach liberation and to attain the state of Atman. 33. You have also said that to meditate on you and to worship you without hoping for any results is the main means of freedom. 34. You said that devotion is the most important, so you should please explain to me whether one can achieve liberation or not by following other methods which are advised by many other seers. 35. Thinking about this question, the Lord Sri Krishna said that as the character of a man of knowledge is composed of the three gunas, they select the spiritual practices and their methods according to their prevalent guna. 36. He accepts the method and the path according to the sattva, rajas, or tamas in his nature. And you should know that those who are proud of their own knowledge get involved in various practices, and discuss at length about various ways towards self-realization. 37. O Uddhava, listen carefully. This has been a long tradition and has caused the knowledge of those people to become degraded. Though the fruits of that spiritual practice are also trifle, they consider their method as the truth and their knowledge as the right knowledge. 38. Eknath says, in the 14th chapter, Sri Krishna will describe the state of yogic meditation and the trance together with devotion as the main among all the spiritual practices. 39. He will also tell that as other practices are having some goal, some gain as an aim to be achieved, they are of little value. This is the subject of the next 7 verses.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kalena nashta pralaye Vaniyam Veda Samhnita Mayadau Brahmane Prokta Dharmo Yasya Madatmakaha.
Meaning of the verse. In the course of time, my word bearing the name of Veda, in which is given the way to fix one's mind on me, disappeared during Pralaya. But at the beginning of the next Yuga, it was taught by me to Brahma. 40. The Lord said, my teaching in the Vedas is clear and is very shining due to the light of knowledge. It was destroyed at the time of final dissolution of the end of the Yuga. 41. The Lord Brahma was also destroyed, and there was nobody to give to people the knowledge of Vedas, and then it was totally destroyed. 42. At the beginning of the next Kalpa, I told it to Brahma. I have described in it the path of reaching me in all its proper details. 43. I intimated to Brahma that knowledge, which completed in the realization of my nature, only as it is its final achievement.
Tena prokta cha putraya manave purvajaya sa tato bhrigvadayo grinhan sapta brahma maharshayaha.
Meaning of the verse. He told it to his son and the latter to the earlier born Manu, and from him the great rishis Bhrigu and 7 others received that Veda knowledge. 44. The Lord Brahma carefully thought about the knowledge contained in these Vedas and taught it to Manu, and from Manu the great rishis got that wisdom. 45. The Lord Brahma also taught the Vedas to Daksha and other Prajapatis, and then many innumerable others received that wisdom. 46. The 7 rishis who received that Vedic knowledge are Bhrigu, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, and Kratu.
Tebhyah pitrubhyastat putraha devadanav guhyakaha manushya siddha gandharvaha savidyadhara charanaha kindevah kinnaranagaha rakshah kim purushadayaha bhavyastesham prakritayah rajasattvatamo bhuvaha.
Meaning of the verse. From them, the fathers of creation, their progeny, the gods, Danavas, and the Guhyakas, Yakshas, human beings, Siddhas, and Gandharvas, including Vidyadharas and Charanas, as well as men of all other Dvipas, Kinaras, Nagas, Rakshasas, Kim Purushas, and others received it. Their natural tendencies are varied according to Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. 47. Those great rishis gave that knowledge to their sons, grandsons, men, kinnaras, gods, demons, adepts, angels of wisdoms, astral travelers. 48. Angels having secret knowledge, angels of music, monsters, paradivine and parahumans beings, and also other categories of beings belonging to serpents and cobras received that knowledge. 49. The Kinnara categories of creatures having human face but bodies of animals. 50. Those who are having almost human faces but their bodies are similar to animals are called parahuman or Kim Purusha. 51. Those who are having majestic bodies which are having no sweat, no dirt, and no bad odor, and appear to be partly humans and partly gods are called paradivine beings. 52. Thus all the creatures received that knowledge and interpreted it variously according to their natures, that is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. They teach others this wisdom which they received through tradition according to their own particular understanding.
याभिर्भूतानि भिद्यन्ते भूतानां मतयस्तथा यथा प्रकृति सर्वेषां चित्रावाचस्रवन्तिः.
Meaning of the verse: the thoughts of these beings differ in conformity with their nature, and they have diverse interpretations of the Vedas which they teach. 53. The nature of beings differs according to their peculiar quality of the three gunas, and their feelings and emotions also differ. The variation of behavior in the various categories of beings is the result of these feelings. 54. The godliness of nature, the human nature, and the animal nature are the divisions caused by these feelings. 55. People interpret and understand Vedas according to their own particular nature, and they teach to their disciples in their peculiar fashion. 56. To give a strange meaning to the terms in the Vedas, to be adamant about the correctness of that meaning, to interpret in a wrong way, to possess wrong type of articles and utensils necessary for rituals, and give out the advice. The way advice is the play of gunas of the nature.
एवं प्रकृतिवैचित्र्यात् भिद्यन्ते मतयो नृणां पारम्पर्येण केषाञ्चित् पाखण्डमतयो परे.
Meaning of the verse: thus, according to the diversity of disposition and the peculiar oral teaching given by father to son, the minds of some men get perverted while others embrace heretic views. 57. Thus, our nature has been built up according to various opinions, and when we presume our one-sided opinions to be true, it becomes our conviction and fixed nature. 58. Though dream itself is false, the same is true for the person who is seeing the dream. Similarly, people think that various opinions are true. 59. This is the fact about people who know the Vedas, but those who are not authorized to recite Vedas or know what is said in them have also the habit of thinking that traditional education and teaching as true. 60. Even one may have a concept opposite the Vedas. Such people support their own heretic beliefs and they indoctrinate their disciples by these beliefs.
मन्माया मोहिता एवं पुरुषाः पुरुषर्षभ श्रेयो वदन्त्यनेकान्तं यथा कर्म यथा रुचि.
Meaning of the verse: oh, the great man, people under the influence of my own Maya, the divine power, say that there are one variety of desirable ideals according to their activities and their interests is true. 61. O Uddhava, due to the three gunas, very many desires are built up in the minds of people, and their nature is also developed variously. But it is my own divine power, Maya, which brings these into existence. 62. My power has spoiled even great people of high penance. All are deprived of their common sense of right and wrong, and it has misguided them to indulge into carnal desires by forgetting their right path towards their liberation. 63. O Uddhava, you are a great and virtuous man. Please listen. As people have lost their faith, they have missed the gate of eternal freedom and are caught in the cumbersome efforts of various other selfish pursuits and stable endlessly about their effort. 64. Now this Lord Sri Krishna describes for Uddhava what those people say and do by further verses, says Eknath.
धर्ममेके यशश्चान्ये कामं सत्यं दमं शमम् अन्ये वदन्ति स्वार्थं वा ऐश्वर्यं त्यागभोजनम्.
Meaning of the verse: some declare it to be dharma, spiritual merit. Others, like poets, say that fame is desirable. Some declare that sexual enjoyment is the aim of life. Some advocate truth or control of the sense organs as well as control of action, while some others say that mind control should be achieved. Some say that selfishness and prosperity should be the aim, and some advocate that we should enjoy our life by sharing food, money, etc. with others. Some advocate renunciation. Some sponsor sensuous enjoyments, while some say that yajnas should be performed, or austerity, charity, liberality, sacred vows, and the various ways of self-abnegation should be followed. 65. Mimamsakas say that barring the prohibited karma, all other actions, selfish or unselfish, should be performed, which help us achieve liberation. 66. Some say that poetry is the means of choice, and the fame which a poet gets leads him to liberation. 67. Great epic poets are under the delusion that when they are famous for their poetry, that fame vouchsafes the attainment of liberation. 68. Vatsayana and some others seem to have a different opinion. They think that they will get liberation through unhindered sexual enjoyment. 69. Sankhyas say that control of mind and organs, truthfulness, and other virtues are the right means of liberation. 70. The sponsorers of morality, etc., say that attainment of kingdom is equal to achievement of liberation. 71. Some are of the opinion that the thread and the long hair on the head, which are symbols of authority to perform duties according to ashrama and caste, should be given up, and that is sufficient to get liberation. 72. Materialistic people propagate indulgence in all enjoyments, and they do not believe in hell or heaven nor in rebirth. 73. For some, the path towards liberation lies in the performance of yajnas like Ashwamedha or Rajasuya, while to worship the image of God in a proper method is the way of self-realization for some others. 74. Some are of the opinion that to undertake rigorous penance involving tremendous self-abnegation and troubles is the path to reach liberation very quickly. 75. Some advocate charity to reach the state of freedom from rebirth, while some say that one should lead a life of strict spiritual discipline. 76. Some say that vows should be properly observed and rules of moral conduct and religious program should be observed. Thus, people praise their own methods of spiritual effort. 77. But if we think carefully, we find that all these observances are of a temporary nature. The Lord Sri Krishna is telling the same thing to his disciple Uddhava as follows.
केचिद्यज्ञतपोदानं व्रतानि नियमान् यमान् आद्यन्तवन्त एवैषां लोकः कर्म विनिर्मिताः दुःखोदर्कास्तमोनिष्ठाः रुद्रानन्दाश्रुचार्पिताः.
Meaning of the verse. However, the regions in the other world which are attained through these paths are temporary, having a beginning and end created by their own karma, being pain-producing, a very low type of joy, and having a lot of sorrow as a result of the tamasic nature and beliefs. 78. Please note that the result of all these efforts is sorrow. If these paths are not accompanying complete absence of hope for fruit, absence of pride of their body, an act of surrendering themselves to me. 79. The regions in the heaven world which are attained by these practices are of a temporary nature, and the pleasures enjoyed in these worlds are like poison mixed with sugar. 80. It is sweet in taste, but there is definite death. Similarly, the pleasures in those positions are of very low type and are causing sorrow in the end. 81. How can there be real happiness for such persons who are spoiled by their own selfish actions? There is pain in it, which goes on increasing. And finally, these people go to hell, which is called Andhatama, the great darkest dungeons of purgatory. 82. The mind which is attached to sensuous enjoyment is always hankering for those pleasures. This increases the tamas quality of the life, which takes that man downward. 83. The Lord Shri Krishna now goes on to describe the nature of the devotion of those who worship him with deep love.
मय्यर्पितात्मनः सभ्य निरपेक्षस्य सर्वतः मयात्मना सुखं यत्तत् कुतः स्यात् विषयात्मना.
Meaning of the verse. How would that happiness fall to the lot of those who have set their mind on sensual pleasures, the happiness which is enjoyed with me as the self? O noble one, by him who has fixed his mind on me and expects no gratification from any other source. 84. In order to tell about the glory of the self-bliss implied in true devotion, the Lord Sri Krishna said, O Uddhava, you are the only one who deserves the happiness implied in true devotion to me. 85. The Lord thought that as he is lucky to enjoy the bliss in the devotion, it is proper to call him the noble one. And thus calling him as such, he began to describe to him the happiness which a devotee derives. He said, yes,
Yeah. Awesome reading, Sajinji. Please, sir, give your thoughts and takeaways.
Yeah, let me just go to the start. This first few verses are very great verses. They highlight the Sadguru's knowledge and wisdom. Like, the Sadguru is described as an ocean of milk and a moon of understanding. And the knowledge that the Sadguru has is compared to the moonlight, and is shining in the whole area of the heart, and it removes the troubles of the devotees also, and it removes all the darkness of ignorance. So those verses very very nicely describe the Sadguru. And then there's a beautiful analogy of this churning of the ocean, which I like. So they say that trust is the mountain Mandara, desirelessness is Vasuki, the rope, and the gods and demons are compared to self-confidence and courage. Then the poison is compared to distraction and forgetfulness. So all these are like virtues that we should possess in order to attain like a devotion and liberation. Yeah. And Mahadeva is compared to discrimination, and he has swallowed the poison, like Shiva has swallowed the poison for us here. And goddess Lakshmi is compared to peace. So all this full analogy is very nice. And also the kalasha, the pot which contains the nectar of Brahman, which comes out after the churning. And Lord Sri Hari is described as Mohini, and equal to the attitude of the mind by which you approach your devotion. And Narayana is compared to an ocean of milk, and this Sheshanag is compared to the Samadhi state. So that these few verses very nice. And one great description of the Sadguru again here is that this Vedas even cannot find the limits of this immeasurable. They call him immeasurable. And the Sadguru is described as, like ornaments worn by Lord Shankara and Lord Vishnu. So it is, highly revered. Like the Sadguru is highly revered, even equal to the gods, one may say, like, very highly. Yeah, it is in these verses actually. And then finally, towards the end, I think here he talks about how, he cannot describe the grace of the Guru in Marathi, but yeah, so he's talking about that Hansa Gita and things like that. And finally, the last few verses talk about achieving liberation, whether devotion is the only way or whether there are other means for devotion. And then Krishna gives that advice that it is according to one's gunas, that is sattva, rajas, or tamas, that one takes appropriate path to devotion. So it may differ. And then some people have the idea that this is the only right path, and study of Vedas or study of performing certain rituals is the only right path, and there is no other path. So they have that pride, and that is not the right means. And so here there are two verses that describe that path of upliftment, and also how you can the path of downfall, like described in the Gita also. Those two paths are described in two verses actually. I don't remember which two verses towards the end. Yeah. So this is basically what I gathered from today. Yeah.
Beautifully have summed up. Then all those verses started and it became so beautiful. And now we have stopped at that devotion part of it. And how it was handed, that was said in between, and who all got the knowledge, and all those Siddhas and Gandharvas, they had come in between. And then interpretations of Veda is because of the Mishra Guna, it happens, and nobody is actually, so it should not be improvised. You should hand over how you have received it, but people interpret and add their input. So that's not correct way he says there. And all because it's under the influence of Maya only that they do all this thing that was mentioned in there. And Bhagwan's favorite is Uddhava. Lord mentions this. And for him exclusively, he's giving knowledge that came. Okay, so then we stop over here. Different paths would be there, but the devotion is upheld. And then he will say, he begins to describe to him the happiness which a devotee derives, and then the happiness of devotee, those lakshanas will come, which tomorrow, hopefully, Shri Hariji will only read. Okay. Any other thoughts anybody has? Over to you, Sajidji, for closing
I have
thoughts.
a question, Oshaji.
Ji.
The Gita, yeah. In liberation means you have explained like 4 types are there when we are explaining Narayanam, right? In the beginning of Dashakas, Salopya, Sarupya, Salokya, Samipya, and then Haikya. I think
Sure.
it's so. How
Right.
does it? Is it same in Advaita also? Uh, I'm not able to understand that one. Like, is that when we get a moksha, do we wish that we have to stay near to the Vaishnava? So it is in the loka of Vishnu. That's why it's Salokya. Is it our wish or how is that? Sarupya.
In what form we are meditating, that form we will receive.
Okay, okay. So if we are thinking only about Vishnu, then it's Sarupya.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we are meditating on the form of the Lord, we will get the form of the Lord. That's why in Vaikuntha there are so many Chaturbhujas, Pitambara Dharis, like that one
Yeah, yeah.
description.
Correct, correct, correct.
Yeah.
Ah,
Somebody wants like Aikya with the Lord. They will be Aikya. Somebody wants to live only where Lord is living. So they will get Sarloka. They will live in Vaikuntha.
okay.
It
So,
is the bhav that you add to your sadhana. So when you are meditating on the Lord, you will have these kinds. But when you are meditating on the Nirguna, then that is the Advaita kind, the only one you are melting in. So then there is nothing called Lord or Vedas book or anything. So what is your meditation point? That is deciding Saguna Brahma Upasana or Nirguna Brahma Upasana.
okay. Saguna means these 4 types are there, liberation, right? If it's a Nirguna, then will not be Aikya only because there is no Bhagavan only. We
No, no, not like that. There will be Aikya with everything. There is no other thing. Only you.
so it's only me, right? Though all other things are all Maya only.
Yes. So you will realize that. But right now we are not realizing, right?
So not we, but the saints who are doing right in Advaita only, if they have realized for them, except themselves, that there should not be anything else around them, right?
No, they will be seeing everything, but they will identify as oneness only.
Oh, okay, okay. That was a little confusing
That
for me.
laptop and the phone, that will not change. Something which has to put in the neck, mala has to be put in the neck only, and vada has to be put in the hand only. Functionally, nothing is changing. The change is happening only in the understanding in the seat of meditation.
Yeah. In Bhagavatam also, in the canto 2 itself, it has come, no, the yogi can travel through all lokas. And then once he can reach Brahma Loka also. From there, if he wish, he can leave before Brahma itself, or else he can wait for the Pralaya and then he can go along with Brahma. So that one, I'm like, that is also liberation only. No, he's getting liberated. The yogis only can go in that path, like Maharloka, Dhruva Loka, Maharloka, and then Brahma Loka.
It's a siddhi, my dear. Naradji can travel anywhere. That's a siddhi. That much tapas has to be done. To travel through the lokas, a siddhi is needed.
Yeah, yeah. Only that is they have said like only siddhis can travel like that. But so liberation is like that. Even in Advaita also, they'll go in that way, and then they'll go to Vaikuntha only, right? Like out of once the pralaya is gone, they'll reach Vishnu only.
Oh, I didn't understand.
After
Sorry.
pralaya is happens, so they will go to the Vaikuntha only.
Who? Who they?
The siddhis.
No, for them nothing is there, right?
They know
They are
they're
ever
still
they are
traveling with.
they They are ever free, non-bound.
Yeah, but they're still traveling with the Sukshma Sharira, no? That this is there in Bhagawat. I was trying to, refresh all the old contours while reading today. I was a little confused. I think this is beyond our thinking. We can't even think about it.
See, one who has attained Lord, nothing more is there after that.
I will check and I'll message you, Shaji. I think which contour. I'm not very sure which chapter.
Yeah, so the concept is, see, you are thinking that when the pralaya happens, what happens to these siddhas? Will they go to Vaikuntha? Is your question, correct?
Yeah.
See, then there is nothing. They have already reached the Lord.
Okay.
Pralaya is pralaya. Everything is merging in the Lord only, which they have already merged only in the Lord, even before that pralaya. For us, it is like a pralaya because we are having a separate existence than the Lord.
Yes. Yeah.
For us, there is life and death. For those who are beyond life and death, there is nothing as pralaya, there is nothing as birth. They have merged with the Lord only. So
Yeah.
nothing is happening there at that level. So what is happening? Our problem is we are thinking from our standpoint of view.
Mhm.
So their standpoint of view is different. They have already merged with the Lord. What pralaya for them and what birth for them? They are beyond the death and the birth cycle.
Yeah, true. Thank you.
It's clear? Your doubt is clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Hello.
Hare.
Over to you, Sachin.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Let's see tomorrow from 86 to us hours.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for
Hariom
joining.
Marsha
Thank you,
ji.
Sachin.
Hariom
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.